adapted to the city culture. The fact that he took charge of Bengaluru and has now taken this effort to project himself, because he knows where the Congress was lacking and where it lost. That was in the urban votes. And with a growing urbanization, the way Bengaluru city is growing, the way Mysore is growing, he knows that that kind of politics is what will take him and the party to beat the BJP in Bengaluru city. So that's where we see this transition now. It's going to be a little different and a little difficult because Siddaramaiah supporters are not happy. What I was actually trying to come to say is that while DK Shivakumar is tech savvy, he talks about technology, he talks about infrastructure, he talks about IT development and all that. But the fact is that, he may face some hurdles in case he doesn't have the kind of support that he will need from Siddaramaiah. And the way developments are now shaping up, the way we see things change, it's not going to be easy for the Congress High Command now to hand over power so easily in a day or two, the way they had assumed. Maybe the High Command hurried up, the way BJP High Command messed up with Yediyurappa's ouster, and later on regretted it and, had to bring him back and give him the kind of respect. I think so. In the rural belt of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah still has the kind of hold, influence and power. And that's something where DK Shivakumar will need to take him along, will need to ensure that he has his support and blessings.
Okay. Professor Chambi Puranik, there's also another development that has taken place. Governor has left Karnataka knowing very well that there is a crisis in Bengaluru. It doesn't take rocket science to decode it, but it was completely unexpected, You're not supposed to do this. This party has majority.
Ms. Karthikeyan and Varghese and our co-panelists, I'm happy that I'm sharing this debate or discussion at a crucial moment. Kisa Kursika in Karnataka, as Madam Rosa mentioned, I think the Karnataka people are fed up. Siddaramaiah, I know him as a student. I'm talking of when he was a student in Yuvarajas College, how he used to organize student strike and all that. He was actually, in a way, he's better than DK Shivakumar. He's a kind of, Ms. Varghese mentioned about rural background and all that. But he is a very clever and crafty person. I've seen him through and all that. But how he managed to familiarize himself in Karnataka with the Kannada Kavalu Samiti, very humble and very kind of an intelligent kind of operations that he has done and all that. But having seen him being in the JDS also, I've seen him.
Professor Puranik, I just need to show one photograph to my viewers. My God, this is unbelievable. We will put this on air immediately. DK is touching Siddaramaiah's feet. He is doing that. We are going to put that. He's going to. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay. It's amazing. Yes, I mean to say these are the signals, and this is not something I have not seen. If you recall, when Modi took over as the Chief Minister, a lot of people said, "Ki, "Arey bhai, Keshu bhai naraz hain, kya hai wo hai." He went to Keshu bhai's residence and touched his feet, and that photograph went out. And every time he would win election, he would go and meet Keshu bhai Patel. So it's not as if that these I would say courtesies are not maintained by Indian politicians. They do, Professor.
No, that way, Siddaramaiah, I give him 100% marks. The body language of DK Shivakumar still is a big liability. It's going to be a liability in Karnataka, I'm telling you, because he has the kind of experience or whatever, the kind of access to the High Command and all that. That is because of that only. Otherwise, majority of MLAs are not with the DK Shivakumar. They are not happy with his style of functioning. Siddaramaiah is arrogant and also very rigid, but he is very flexible. I have seen him from close quarters for last 30 years. He knows how to adapt. When he left JDS, we did ask him, why did you? He said, no, I was not happy with the kind of family, dynasty grew and all that. But, that is okay. But he was given a chance by Congress. I think that way he is very clever, and he also has a sense of gratitude that Congress has given me a long lease of life. in 8 years being a chief minister. It's a record in Karnataka. As you mentioned earlier, before you, when you were telling about, I'm telling you, I'll start from Virendra Patil and then S.M. Krishna. All these people were sidelined. Veerappa Moily was brought in as chief minister. Those were the days, the Karthikeyan, as a young student, you must have heard about it also. In the cover, the Congress used to send the name of the next chief minister. It was already decided. So that kind of thing is not there. So Congress, it's a question of survival. In 2028, I doubt, in spite of this change of chief ministership, whether Congress is going to come to power and all that. Because in the other side, JDS and BJP alliance, and Kumaraswamy and Devegowda being close to Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi, how things are going to work out. And also, the kind of SIR and all that they are doing. Now, all these things are going to make an effect. Second thing is, you mentioned about his being the strong leader of OBC or Ahinda and all that. But Ahinda itself has not brought Congress to power. It's the corrupt and also such a worst administration of BJP after having removed Yediyurappa and the B.L. Santosh and others nourishing the idea of becoming chief ministers, like handpicked. BJP also, in no way is different from Congress. They are, in this Indira Gandhi family or Rahul Gandhi, they are going to decide, Sonia Gandhi. But here, the BJP core leadership itself is dictatorial. So both of them, there is no choice for Karnataka people. Twiddle them, twiddles. Therefore, I would say that DK Shivakumar has many more challenges. As Madam mentioned, Bengaluru is the biggest problem. 40 to 45% of revenue comes from Bengaluru.
Let me list out one thing. एक तो gift मिल गया है, and that gift is Roja. He has adopted that very controversial report. I have been told today morning on the caste.
Okay.
Siddaramaiah has adopted that report. Why did he adopt that report today, Roja? Why did he adopt that report?
You are talking about internal reservation.
Yeah.
Yes,
he adopted it. Achha, Vijay, you wanted to come in, then Roja. Vijay. Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself?
The caste minorities, that's where his strength was. So even before stepping out, he ensured that last night he accepted the report. The report still needs cabinet approval. And that's where I have a feeling that Siddaramaiah is going to take some time to get a cabinet ratification so that it cannot be dismissed. Because the last time around also, when he stepped down in 2018, the report was made, but it did not get implemented. But now this time around, what I gather from sources is that before he steps down, he wants to ensure that this report is implemented so the backwards, the Dalits, the minorities get their share in governance and government jobs and everything that is needed for their welfare. So clearly, he is having his way in terms of, keeping his ideology and principles intact. And that's why we saw the hurried meeting last evening where the report was submitted to him and accepted by him. But still, there is a technical hitch of a cabinet ratification, and how that is going to happen is something which will need some more time. So maybe you could have a special cabinet meeting tomorrow, and after that only we could see Siddaramaiah stepping down after the cabinet has ratified and accepted this report.
So basically, Vijay, you are saying that this will take some time. It's not going to be post-breakfast. Are you saying that, Siddha can, sit on his resignation for another 48 hours? Is that what you're saying? Because a lot of people are saying that...
Karthikeyan, he's been given more than a week's time to move out next thing. And that's somewhere I have a feeling that it will definitely not happen today, especially given the fact that governor is also not in town. But tomorrow, there could be a special cabinet meeting where this report will be accepted. And after that, we will see if there is a call taken on the resignation and the formation of the new cabinet. And everybody today in the breakfast will only share their point of view in terms of what needs to be done, what's the way ahead. And that's where DK Shivakumar seems to have reconciled to this entire developments and is waiting for it.
But this appears to be really different from Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, there was a lot of animosity. I would say, Roja, that Siddaramaiah has shown a lot of grace. You know, the way Amrinder Singh behaved, you know, the way Jyotiraditya Scindia got very upset with the Congress party, you know, he was not given Rajya Sabha seat. Obviously, he was feeling upset. He had lost even the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, and Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath for not letting, you know, Gandhi's, accommodate him in Rajya Sabha. And the similar thing, you know, in Chhattisgarh, where Mr. Dev kept on waiting for his chance, never happened. And then in Rajasthan, so it became a dirty laundry in public. Sachin Pilot's phone got tapped, and you know, everything was shared. The transcript. That way, Roja, Karnataka affair, very dignified. I mean, say everyone knew his ambition, but Lakshman Rekha वैसे किसी ने cross नहीं किया. Roja.
No, that's because, you know, we are a more chilled out population. We might have groupism and gossip going on. And if you see, Shivakumar has planned the international airport and the stadium near Kanakpura.
He's not chilled out when it comes to news, Varghese. He's the most non-chilled out person when there is news breaking. Please come to my newsroom and see Varghese.
So the thing is that DK Shivakumar has prepared the ground for his own development works in Kanakpura constituency. People are worried that, you people are talking from, the standpoint of the media and how you know politicians. I am talking from the public point of view because, daily I'm talking to auto drivers and vegetable vendors. And the fear is that, corruption might go up. The fear is that he might be a more inaccessible person compared to Siddaramaiah. So these are the barriers he needs to break. And also that he might do more work for Kanakpura and there might be more red tapeism. So those are our fears. So the common man is not worried whether they are going to take over in 2 days or 4 days. Siddaramaiah had a clean image and that really worked in his favor. So whether the caste politics is going to affect votes, that is secondary. But I think ultimately the grassroots level, the common man needs to be attended to. Like it has shown in Chennai and like it has shown in Kerala, they are fed up of the ruling government and they went all out and, voted for a new person.
Also, Roja, just wanted to ask this question about, probably the Chief Minister change is only the first step. After that, there's going to be a battle of sorts. The 4 Deputy CM posts, then you're going to go for the big battle for the KPCC post. Who is going to be in that position as such? And over here, are we going to see a cabinet with a lot of Siddaramaiah loyalists and then a Chief Minister like DK Shivakumar surrounded by them? Are we going to probably look at a scenario like that?
Yes, I think what is going to happen is that people like you, news people, are going to have a lot of stories in the coming days. Okay? Because there's going to be so much of factionalism and this fellow's man coming and that fellow's man coming and, this caste group not being represented, that caste group not being represented, and there's going to be high drama. And the worst thing about Karnataka is there are these people who just shoot their mouths unnecessarily. Half of them could be wrong. And there are some who will add, other elements like astrology and tell you that this is Adhika Masa, this is not a good time when Shivakumar is taking out. You see Instagram, it's crazy. Like yesterday when Shivakumar landed from New Delhi, he is having a new Benz takeover, and you should see that security. There are some at least 10,000 cops. I think all this is not necessary. I think they should just do work and that is so important. There's a new Benz. You can see it on Instagram. I don't know how much of it is AI created, but there's already a halo. When Shivakumar is coming, there's a halo. And I think that's not a good thing for governance, particularly when they have given free bus passes to women and they say that the exchequer is running out of money because they have done so many free things for the common man. I think these are things that Shivakumar needs to look into rather than, focus on cabinet, because that is where the anti-incumbency in the state, which is a very common thing, is going to come in full force.
All right. And Vijay Grover, now Bangalore, 28 MLA constituencies, 3 MP constituencies. It's a very important urban center when it comes to any government, but the most neglected group of people. 28 MLAs, still the city suffers. 3 MPs, still the city suffers. What is going to be DK Shivakumar's plan for Bengaluru? Because he has been saying that he has a vision for Bengaluru, he will do that and this. And then you talk about having, locations like South Bengaluru, like suburbs coming around Bengaluru so that can decongest the city. It's a very important vote base, and yet there is no vision from any government on this.
Well, Varghese, you hit the nail on the head for the simple reason that that's what I was saying, as Kartikeya also mentioned that, Siddaramaiah's style of politics seems to be getting phased out. And that's where the need, because the growing urbanization in Karnataka, we see that today 47% of the population is urban-based, with Bengaluru alone accounting for about 33% of the population of the state. So clearly, this is something where DK Shivakumar has done a lot of work in the last 3 years, especially from the time when he took in charge as the Minister for Bengaluru, and he created or formulated the GBA instead of different panchayats that were surrounding. So that is where the connect. The Congress was missing this connect with the urban voter, because the BJP was very strong with the urban voters because of the kind of Modi wave that we've seen in the last 1 decade. So clearly, this is where the Congress feels that DK Shivakumar at the helm will be able to connect with the urban voters, though he'll have to change his style of working. He cannot be seen as very aggressive, unapproachable, that kind of a person that he's been. Maybe he will adapt to the needs of today's voters and work for it. The projects that he's got in line, the tunnel road, the flyovers, about 26 flyovers have been sanctioned. All this is what Bengaluru city needs at the moment. It needs a better implementation of metro. So he knows what is needed. And that's where he will have to put his energy on if he has to lead the party in 2028. And that's going to be a huge task. The biggest challenge for him now is the GBA elections, which are slated to be held in another 2 months.
Vijay, one thing I was just looking at, something, we can disagree at North. A lot of names are coming, like for example, Priyank Kharge, Dr. Yatendra Siddaramaiah. Ultimately, this dynasticism is a real big problem. These senior leaders, will retire, but they park their sons and daughters. It's not as if they're. I'm not denying that they haven't done the grand job in politics. Obviously, they have won elections. But directly DCM Banna, being in that list, where they will be considered for, deputy, the position of deputy chief minister, and you become the representative of certain castes. It's like, the politicians who say, my son is coming, he's going to represent the youth. So there is no one from the youth. He becomes the representative of the youth. I really find this is a problem,
Karthikeya, in the last 2 decades specifically, the involvement of the mutts in the Karnataka politics is something which has been very direct. We saw during Yediyurappa when he was being asked to step down by the BJP High Command. We saw the Lingayat Swamis and everybody rally around behind him and openly professing that the Lingayat community would be heard in case Yediyurappa was removed. Similarly, we saw when other shuffles. So this involvement of religious sects along with politics is what makes it that much more dangerous. And that's where we see that, sometimes the ulemas come in support of Zabir. We see they come in support of MB Patil. So that's where these 4 DCM concept is there to keep every religious sect, be it the Lingayats, be it the Vokaligas, be it the minorities or the backwards. So this is something where there is no option, be it the Congress, be it the BJP, be it the JDS. They cannot go against these religious sects, and to at least keep them happy, they will have to accommodate at least one representative from every major caste, and these are something which has become a part of Karnataka politics.
Well, also, Professor Chambi Puranik, one question that I wanted in fact bring in. Don't you think it's getting overcrowded with all these representation, especially Deputy Chief Minister position, and then the fat portfolios? Four Deputy Chief Minister position is what is being formulated. Is it an overcrowded cabinet?
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday when Kabir was discussing with me in the evening. That is, it's ridiculous. Karnataka people will not like that. And even our focus today, Karthikeyan, unfortunately, is only Bangalore centric and around the DK Shivakumar and all that. What about the Kalyana Karnataka? What about Kittur Karnataka? They are the people who are really the strong supporters of either BJP or Congress, but they have no choice. 2020. So it's between the deep sea and the devil. So that kind of situation, I think our discussion should focus on the plight of people and the lack of development in those regions. Most of the chief ministers, very powerful persons, come from North Karnataka. They have not been able to do the kind of development that has taken place in the old Mysore area.
Is it also because of the geographical economic situation in Karnataka, in the sense that politically North Karnataka becomes important, but economically it is South Karnataka that is pulling in all the revenue. And at the same time, the revenue doesn't get transferred to North Karnataka in a certain way. It is, in fact, spent mostly in South Karnataka.
Even if it is transferred, the development work, there is corruption. There is more corruption in North Karnataka than in old Mysore. Because in old Mysore, the development has already taken place. There is a good kind of foundation laid by the princely state and all that. But in North Karnataka, having merged from Bombay, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and all that, having come to United Karnataka, Ekikarana, or one Karnataka, I think that is where our whatever chief minister or the leaders that they emerge, they should think of that. I don't think Shivakumar is capable of that. He will be, as you said, he will make Bengaluru as a showpiece of the whatever Silicon City and all that. That's one. Second thing is, they are going to have a severe meeting, I am telling you, in 2028 elections. Not because of the infighting or dynastic rule and all that, but they have no vision. They have no plan. They have not implemented. Even Siddaramaiah, you were saying, is a strong Ayinda leader and all that. Now, what is it that he has done to the Ayinda people? Just for electoral gain, he is identified. No, but he is not elected just because he is the Ayinda leader. The guarantees have brought the Congress to power, and the corruption of BJP that has rejected the BJP government. So therefore, don't give full credit to Siddaramaiah or DK Shivakumar. They are as the kind of political opportunists or representatives who seize the power. So power and this whatever idea you mentioned about of the kind of hint that you gave about 4 deputy chief ministers, I'm telling you, there will be a laughing stock. People of Karnataka will not like it because they want development. Where is development? Corruption. Corruption is still there. See, you say Siddaramaiah, Rosa Madam mentioned Siddaramaiah is a clean image. Compared to DK Shivakumar, is clean image.
Before Professor, before we actually answer that question, why did you think that this change has happened? Do you think that he's happy that he's served more than Devraj Ose, that his ambition has been, it's a big ambition, the longest serving chief minister? Why has this change happened? He has said yes, he has not rebelled. There has to be a reason why Siddaramaiah has fallen in line, or Siddaramaiah has agreed to step aside. There has to be a reason. What is your assessment?
No, according to me, the change is because there was an agreement. And that agreement everybody was denying. But today and tomorrow, it's going to be openly, publicly acknowledged by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah himself will say there was a kind of understanding. But still, since I had many programs to implement, they have given me extra 6 months and all that. So therefore, without that agreement, one. Number two, again, you must know that there was only one deputy chief minister, a very powerful DK Shivakumar. He never allowed any other deputy chief ministers to be nominated. Second, he kept the Congress presidentship in his hands only. So that means to show the Congress also depends on DK Shivakumar because he has got the kind of strategy or organization man. That's what Satyawala was telling. But more than that, he has the ability to mobilize resources. He has taken care of so many elections of Karnataka. As Madam mentioned, or your Karthikeyan mentioned, Congress has become a South Indian party now because they have to. Karnataka is the strongest and a leading state for Congress. Otherwise, it will not have future. So North India Congress has been rejected. I don't think Rahul Gandhi will ever dream to become Prime Minister. It's only his wish is there, but Congress is surviving on the basis of Gandhi family image and all that. So therefore, these are very serious questions. And Karnataka people are not, simple or kind of dumb people. They know who is who and what is that. But there is no choice. That's why I said the third force will emerge in 2028 elections. And there may be a split verdict also. So these are things that are there. Just because Shivakumar is taking over, nothing is going to help Congress. It's only transfer of power. There was a kind of agreement and Shivakumar had to be pacified. Siddaramaiah knows that also. Somehow 6 months he got a lease of life because he wanted to implement many programs. But all those who have come from Siddaramaiah's side, they are migrated from JDS to Congress. They are not the original Congress. So they have come for the sake of power, and also Congress has accepted because there is no choice. It's a kind of marriage of convenience. So this is how Karnataka politics is going on, Karthikeyan. Sitting in Delhi, both you and Varghese, and many of the North Indian media, they think that everything is going to be rosy for Karnataka people. No, Karnataka people are fed up, they are tired, they are disillusioned, and I don't know how DK Shivakumar is going to revive that. Just because he's a very dynamic, aggressive fellow now. That's what is going to be a liability for him. That's what I'm saying. Siddaramaiah, I know him, but DK Shivakumar, you must know that I'm revealing one more secret. He's a MA political student from my department. He has passed MA degree recently from the open.
I think there's a bit of a problem in your line, sir. We'll get it rectified. There's a bit of a problem in your line. But I think, but I personally think that if this procrastinates a bit longer, there'll be more rumors. I think what will be better for the Congress party would be to get this done in the next 48 hours.
It is very critical, this 48 hours, because it shouldn't come to a point where if there is a chance within each of the camps to actually, negotiate, or in fact to a point where they can in fact change the point of the precipice. Well, that is something that even the BJP would want to have, that the factionalism forms. But Rojakanda, the one thing that interestingly we have been speaking about over here is this, that we talked about North Karnataka, we've spoken about South Karnataka, Belgavi, Hubli Dharwad, these are those places where the development could have happened. They are lost opportunities, especially when Bengaluru was developing and reached that point. You had these two cities that were, well suited. You had Hubli Dharwad and Belgaum connected with Hyderabad, as well as with regard to the Konkan region in Maharashtra, and straight highways up to Pune and Mumbai. So it was well geographically suited. A lot of these lost opportunities, and then you see that majority of the North Karnataka leaders are in South, in Bengaluru, and they take up residence there, hardly visiting the constituencies also at a certain period of time, only especially when there are polls, and that's been a complaint as well, because most of the politics is happening in Bengaluru. Why the lost opportunity over Belgaum as well as Hubli Dharwad?
Interesting question, Varghese. It's simply because the leaders do not have lobby power. Like, you were just asking how come they gave the power to Shivakumar. Simply because he has a very strong lobbying power. He's been constantly going to Delhi and putting forth his lobbying power. So similarly, like even now when you see the SSLC PUC results, either and all that, always remaining in the last spot. It just takes one good leader to change around the story. Everybody is obsessed with Bangalore. Everybody wants to come and live in Bangalore's traffic. Now with 4 DCMs, we are going to have more traffic chaos because of the convoys. So it's this whole thing about, this obsession with the city, which I think these leaders unfairly are, not doing a good job, because there are so many districts in Karnataka which can be really developed, and not just having a session in Belgaum. But even there are some districts where, their produce is not being, given enough rates. So these are the things that the leaders should concentrate on, rather than coming to Bangalore, sitting in the legislator's home, or, roaming around MG Road. And, by the time the next election starts, they'll again go and campaign and, somehow seem to win for whatever reason. But it is a very sad story how many districts in Karnataka have still not found any development at all for years now.
Right, and also we have with us Vijay Grover, also who's been who knows the length and breadth of that state. Vijay Grover, the leadership changes anyway, if it happens, and DKS is going to be in the driving seat. How much of a North Karnataka pressure we can see on this government?
Well, in the last couple of years, we've seen some development happen as far as Kalyan Karnataka is concerned, because of the provisions that have been laid out in the amendments in the Constitution. So clearly we were 371J, where we saw a lot of funds being reserved for that reason. That's something that nobody can touch, and nobody can take that money away. So while it is happening, it's at a slower pace, because the funds for development itself has come down. But clearly that is an issue that needs a lot of more attention rather than political will. It also needs corporate will and more people to come forward. And we've seen some investments move to Belgavi, Hubli, where we've seen major companies come up and set industry over there. And M.B. Patil, who hails from North Karnataka, has been doing a great job as far as getting investments over there is concerned. Clearly, it is a transition that will take some more time, irrespective of the party in power. This is where you will need that entire infrastructure will need to be built. And we saw that even though 2 airports were built in Bidar, Kalburgi and all that, there was lack of patronage where the flights had to be discontinued after the Udan scheme got over. So now they are again being relaunched from 1st of June because the state government is coming forward and giving those connectivity. So it's a very complex issue, and not one leader or one politician can actually transform it. It will need a collective will. It will need that much more focus, and we are seeing things happen in that because there are provisions in the constitution which ensure that at least the Kalyan Karnataka regions of Raichur, Kalburgi, which need more development, are getting that kind of requisite funds which cannot be taken away. And the privilege that was given to some people from those reasons were that there were jobs reserved for them. So there are provisions, but certainly, as I told you, it will take time. DK Shivakumar will have to extend his political outreach from Mysore Mandya region to North Karnataka. Siddaramaiah, to some extent, because of the castes that he comes from, has a reach in North Karnataka. DK Shivakumar does not have that kind of reach because the Kurba belt was very strong in some of the districts in North Karnataka. But as a vocal leader, it will take some special attention from DK Shivakumar to reach out to the people, connect with them, and assure them that he is not against them or he is not against North Karnataka. And that's going to be a huge task for him. That's where the roles of the deputy CMs, where you have a beautiful system in Karnataka where there's a district in charge minister. And some of the North Karnataka districts have got wonderful ministers who focus on the districts over there. So there is work in progress. I'm sure it will take some time.
All right, and Professor Chammi Puranik, now since Vijay Grover has also spoken about the representational of communities, now you have a Kurba Chief Minister who will be probably replaced by a Wakaliga Chief Minister. You had the Wakaliga Mutts and the people, in fact, technically were divided between the JDS and the Congress to a large extent, and then they decided to give their complete support to DK Shivakumar. So it is an important votary that has to be taken care of. Then you have the most important part of it is the Lingayat vote base, which extends from North Karnataka towards Central Karnataka and to certain parts of the South as well. You have all of them. Now this is one complication of the caste factors. Then you have the Irigas, you have other, the Dalit community also with the left hand and the right hand groups are also in it. So it's a very complex and diverse caste system that we are talking in Karnataka and giving them representation. But unlike other South Indian states, Karnataka is a state that has got languages. It's not exactly, the Kannada that is the dominant language, but you have Beris, you have Tulus, you have Kurgis. It is a diversity within itself. So that regionalism is also going to prop up into it, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. As you said, Karnataka people, no doubt, caste loyalties are very strong. Even today, in spite of all, whatever secular outlook and all that we speak of, that's only academic. In ground reality, the Wakaligas are very strong in Old Mysore and Lingayats in Central Karnataka and North Karnataka. They are also dominating that region. And now, what about the other communities, including minorities and all? So they also have a kind of expectation from each leader who gets elected from different constituencies and all. So therefore, I think, caste is a very important factor. And DK Shivakumar, perhaps, he will have a kind of a tough job or a big challenge, how to take all these castes into confidence and go together and all that. So that problem is there. And in the next election, I think Wakaligas are going to rally behind not Shivakumar exclusively. It will be a divided one because HD Devagoda is...
Right, Professor, we will come to you. We have B.Y. Vijendra, who's in fact given out a reaction. Let's listen in.
Congress High Command has already decided to change the leadership in Karnataka. Siddaramaiah is bound to resign, is expected to resign today. But whoever becomes the Chief Minister, the financial crisis that has been created because of the 3 years Congress government's tenure I don't think any chief minister would be able to address this issue. Where Karnataka is already in a financial distress, there is no development, farmers are in great distress, unemployment, youths are very unhappy with the Congress government. Only guarantee, Congress feels only guarantee, because of the guarantee they will survive. But the fact is, every section of the society, they're upset with this Congress government. So any chief minister replacing Siddaramaiah or even Siddaramaiah continues, I don't think Karnataka's interest will be protected. So in the interest of people of Karnataka, it's better to dissolve the assembly and head for the...
In fact, now we have a big story that's coming in. Siddaramaiah has in fact announced his resignation to the cabinet, especially at the breakfast meet. He's in fact made that announcement to the ministers in the cabinet that he would be stepping down. Now this is the big story that we are tracking from Karnataka. Siddaramaiah has announced his resignation during the breakfast meet as of now. This is the big story that's coming in. The way has been cleared for DK Shivakumar to become the Chief Minister. Kartikeya, a long wait and finally some fruition. And now, before going into Karnataka elections, you have 2 years in your hands. So DK Shivakumar is given that time to lead the state also when it comes to the elections as well.
You know, I would say that what really surprises me is the smoothness of the operation, which I was telling to Vijay, that unlike other states, the Congress has has conducted this operation pretty smoothly. I don't know whether Rahul Gandhi has become more deft in politics, or Siddaramaiah has shown a big heart, or DK has been smarter. But whatever has happened, everything has fallen in place. And this will have, if they reconstitute their cabinet, rejig the top leadership structure of the Congress, I think it's going to give a good signal. In case they bicker, they fight, and the message goes wrong, because ultimately in politics it's about narrative. ऐसा नहीं जाना चाहिए कि सबके बच्चे बन गए Deputy Chief Minister. If they get the messaging right, I think it's going to be a good thing for the Congress party. You see, we cannot deny the fact that DK played a very important role in getting Congress to power the way Sachin Pilot did in Rajasthan. So now the tradition of those who actually spear the Congress back to power, they should be rewarded. Those days are gone where Congress leadership could allow other person to become Chief Minister because he was more loyal to Delhi. Because there is a Congress, and there is a Congress within the Congress which is controlled by Gandhis. So V.D. Satheesan becoming the Chief Minister, and not K.C. Venugopal, and not Mr. Ramesh, because Mr. Ramesh could have been the contested candidate, and Venugopal was close to Rahul Gandhi, sent a very good signal. Look at the Chief Minister of Telangana. He's not a complete die-hard Congress guy. He's an import from outside. He's the Chief Minister of Telangana, and he works independently. So if Congress starts to promote people like them, maybe there will be some revival. Only very few people who could stand up to Delhi went on to become very powerful Chief Minister, and last of those was Y.S.R. Reddy of United Andhra Pradesh. The PCC chief did his Padayatra, went on to become the Chief Minister, won elections twice. Unfortunate death when he came. In fact, you know, it happened after he came back from Jerusalem. He had taken special leave with his entire family to go to Jerusalem for a pilgrim. And when he came back, you know, this helicopter crash took place. So the larger point I'm trying to make is that perhaps Congress in that phase, which BJP found itself in 1999, where centre was weak, but they had powerful chief ministers like Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, Sundar Lal Patwa, powerful politicians, you know, Kalyan Singh, you know, these were the people, when they were in opposition, Nitish was in power. Maybe Congress has, if they need to get back their game in order, maybe they need these powerful satraps, you know. Maybe they need these, you know, powerful chief minister who can at least drive Congress in their various respective states. I remember a cover story of a magazine in 2003 or 2, you know, which showed Sonia sitting, and you know, 16 Congress chief minister. Vajpayee was the prime minister. So the message was that Sonia is not in power in centre, but she still controls power in 16 states, or I think 40 or 11 states, I don't know, because at, you know, at that point of time, most of the northeastern states were with the Congress party, so you could add those states. So this is how, this is the larger point I'm making.
Also, Roja, when we in fact see the rise of DK Shivakumar, I mean, it's a politician that you have also studied quite well. The importance of Kanakapura and the person who is there, his brother as such, is also part of it. We have DK Suresh also playing an important role when it comes to the parliament as well. Now, the question is, see, this is a man who is also loyal to the Gandhis. He's been the point person to solve crisis when the Congress was, whether it's in Assam, when it was in Gujarat. Of course, he was the person who is, or even in Karnataka itself. So he has this strongman image. How much of that is something that is going to be a blessing or to an extent a liability as well?
It's actually both a blessing and liability, Verghese. One, because he is known to promote his own Kanakpura constituency in many ways, and everybody knows that, and he has a very loyalist brother. But right now the scenario, I think, all over India is that we have a bigger force at play, and that is Trump. So Trump is kind of dictating a lot of things in, Karnataka, which we have no control over, the gas prices, the petroleum costs and stuff like that. So these things, even a lobbyist like Shivakumar, it is beyond his capacity. So I hope that he is able to play his lobbying power at a higher level rather than just at Kanakpura, because, we are having a hard time with hotel prices going up. It's getting very difficult. Most of the labor from the hotel industry is moving back because they are not able to pay them. And we don't get our usual puris and vadas at hotels. So there are bigger things that people are getting worried. Some of them are, I am told, even hoarding petrol because, it's going to be a short supply with, the Trump's moods, and you don't know how the Iran war is going. So it's not just about what is happening at the level, but the percolating effect of the war also is causing a toll on our daily life, which might not affect the rich people, but is surely affecting the poor people, because I know a lot of labor is moving out from Bangalore, even construction labor, because of all these things. They are not able to afford the food, and some people are not able to afford even the housing, which is becoming very expensive, particularly in a city like Bangalore.
All right. And also, Vijay Grover, 2 years on, you have an election coming in, and you require a person like DK to lead that election in a state like Karnataka. How do you see that this particular transition, is it coming at right time for that election, or is it going to be a lot to prove for DK Shivakumar? As you said, the first immediate test would be the Greater Bengaluru, elections that would be coming in for the 5 corporations. Then you have to start. It's technically a campaign mode that you're on once you become the Chief Minister more than governance.
Verghese, it's much smoother than what even I had anticipated. As I had earlier said, that maybe the precondition that was said that there could be a cabinet to ratify the bill that was given yesterday for the reservation for backwards. I think so somewhere in principle there would be an agreement that it could be taken care of and will not be scrapped. So that's something where, we see this resignation coming. And Karthikeya very rightly said that, the Congress is now relying on a younger force. We saw Satheesan and we saw now DK Shivakumar being pushed. So clearly this is something where DK Shivakumar will have a very major onus on himself and on his own brother. Because one, his style of working has been very brash. I think so as a Chief Minister, and to keep the cabinet together is going to need a lot of adjustment, and that's where some things are going to happen. And in the past, we've seen that several allegations or comments have been made against his brother by people within his own party. And that's something which is, a major challenge for DK Shivakumar to keep his brother in curb. He may be a loyalist to DK Shivakumar, but will he compromise interests of Congress is something which is a risk. So that's where we have to keep a watch on this. And that's something where DK Shivakumar, as you said very rightly, that he is getting into power in the campaign mode itself. So clearly there is a lot of stress where we need to see that the GPA elections, whenever they are held in June or July, DK Shivakumar has staked his personal credibility on that, and he will be judged not just for the elections in Bengaluru, but his own achievement itself, and that he could lead the party there.
The Professor Puranik is back with us. We have been speaking about the Congress party, but there is also one more issue in Karnataka. Why is BJP not in pink of health, this is one state BJP has not been able to, get in shape in last 3 years after losing election. Is the party in
BJP, yeah, again, BJP, there is no leader. I mean, the factionism and also the kind of whatever support that the central government is giving to BJP or the headquarters, I think, that is not there. They are favoring more Devegowda family. H.D. Kumaraswamy is in the center, and then they are having an alliance. Even Rajya Sabha seat will be offered to Devegowda. So, I mean, this kind of situation is there. State leadership, there is no leader who is capable of convincing the high command, the BJP high command, which is very different and difficult, hard nut to crack. Yeah, I think BJP, has no future, except for the failure of Congress government, anti-incumbency factor, and the problems that Karnataka is facing, including the problems of Bangalore. I know Mr. Vijay Grover mentioned some improvement is there and all that. Maybe as a journalist he must have seen, but that is not substantial. For the last 40-45 years, most of the powerful leaders are coming from North Karnataka, and they have disowned their own region. He said about district ministers. I'm sorry, Mr. Varghese, you must find a kind of data analysis about the performance of the district ministers. They have failed miserably. So therefore, BJP has got more disadvantages than Congress. But people have no choice. That's why I'm saying the third force will be either Kumaraswamy and BJP combination of a coalition government. Because of the blessings of Modi and Amit Shah, they are more in favor of JDS alliance with BJP because they know they can't face Congress. And BJP has never won 125 or 130 seats in their election battle. So therefore, it's a very complicated issue. And apart from that, not only caste factor, BJP lacks a kind of mass leader like Yediyurappa. Even in Congress also, Siddaramaiah is partially a mass leader. But DK Shivakumar is only an urban local leader, that too a strong organization man. So these are the kind of issues that Karnataka people are facing. So in this particular context, I would say that Congress will have a tough time and they will not be able to retain not even 136. They will not be in a position to come to power because of the factor of JDS and BJP alliance. Central government, especially BJP high command, is more in favor of this. So therefore, naturally BJP leaders, they are disappointed because the very fact the Rajya Sabha seat is not given to a fresh man or a new person who can command the voters or bring people together. So that itself shows that there are problems for BJP and JDS, and BJP is in a very bad position. So Vijayendra may not talk something like opposition leader, but I don't think Vijayendra will cut into that. So DK Shivkumar's factor may harm Congress if his body language is wrong. Second thing, you mentioned about his brother Suresh. Yes, he is also a Muslim. These are the people who will try to, use different tactics to win GBA and all that, to show that. So if DK Shivakumar succeeds in GBA elections, he will have kind of a good image. But I don't think people of Karnataka are proud or happy about the change of leadership. They say it's inevitable. It is an internal matter. Congress has got 136 members and there is a lot of pressure about 20-25 new aspirants to become ministers. And if DK Shivakumar, if he doesn't remove about 40% of the top senior leaders who are there for 30 to 35 years in power, either way, this way or that, or this government or that government, I don't think DK Shivakumar will have control over the cabinet because Siddaramaiah had very good control in the first term. In second term, he had no control over cabinet. So therefore, when Vijay Grover mentioned about district minister, idea is good, but where is the result? The proof of the pudding is in eating. So that is the problem the Karnataka people are facing. And in this perspective, if we talk, perhaps there will be hope for or some kind of message that goes to DK Shivakumar. Better you watch your body language and perform. And even what Siddaramaiah's suggestion is there, Siddaramaiah should be taken as a guide, mentor for DK Shivakumar to succeed. So these are the kind of things that people of Karnataka are expecting because they have no choice. The choice is, as I said, mentioned, that the people of Karnataka are fed up with this kind of corruption is there, Karthikeyan. For this, you please come and make your people some kind of investigative report. I'm telling you, corruption is rampant in Karnataka, which was there earlier in BJP and even in present, Siddaramaiah's government, and also future.
Chambi, the couple of bites that have come in, let me just play out. I think Mumbai's bite has come 2 minutes. It's a longer bite. Just stay with me. I need to play out those reactions. Let me play out those bites, please. Shalini, go ahead. Play them out.
To the present day development, Karnataka has got this 7-year syndrome for the long-serving Chief Minister, right from Nizlingappa. The senior most leader was made to resign to take AICC presidentship during his 7th-year term. Similarly, it happened to Devraj Aras. Even though he got re-elected in 78, from 72 to 78, 6 years he was there, but in 79 he was forced to resign. And similarly, it happened to Ramakrishna Hegde also, that he was forced to resign on his 7th year of his chief ministership. Now Siddaramaiah, after completing his 7.5 years, almost 8 years now, he is resigning. So this syndrome continues. As far as the present day this thing is concerned, from day one, the date was fixed for period sharing between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, and DK Shivakumar from day one was making it very clear that he is going to take over after 50% of the term, and he was edging him out in every day and every possible occasion. Therefore, Siddaramaiah didn't have really a period of 3 years of a peaceful governance, and because of the mismanagement of the finances and the difference of opinion, the governance was totally zero, administration was totally failed, as well as development was not to be seen, and the debt of the government has increased 4 times. Karnataka is pushed back nearly 20 years because of the misrule of Congress and infighting of Congress, especially between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar.
These photographs have really summed it up, These photographs have really summed it up. I think, the important thing is that these photographs have, worked in a way sort of like a balm to the, Congress party. They must be getting jitters, as to, what will happen. But I think that, Varghese, the sum in total here is that the Congress has been able to manage this crisis. Unlike so many other crises, Congress has been able to manage this transition. This became a sort of a reflection on Rahul Gandhi's ability to do a lot of things. So at least this becomes a reflection on Rahul Gandhi's ability to manage, But, it has taken a long time because the way things happened in Punjab, the way even Haryana, look at Haryana. Openly, Kumari Selja was saying that she's also chief ministerial candidate. The incumbent, who's the secretary in charge of Karnataka, Randeep Surjewala, was also saying that he is also a chief ministerial candidate. Now the shoe is on the other foot. He has to manage Karnataka. So look at it. So the thing that finally happened. So I would say that it's a good crisis management by Congress. One has to see whether DK is able to stabilize the issue now. DK biggest responsibility would be to spearhead the election.
That would be his biggest. We also have with us Ashok K. M. Gowda, spokesperson for the BJP, is also joining us. Ashok, how do you in fact see the sudden change that is coming in? As I wouldn't say sudden change, it has been going on, speculation has been going on, but the change is finally happening. How does the BJP view this?
See, our point is very, very simple and very clear, that whether it is Siddaramaiah who was the chief minister or who is now DK Shivakumar who is the chief minister, how does a Karnataka get benefited? Karnataka, see, for Siddaramaiah being a chief minister of Karnataka and presenting 17 budgets and being in power for the 8 years as a chief minister, and in fact in the 43 years of his being in the power, 33 and a half years, he was with a government car and government bungalow. That is his record. After that, what is his contribution to Karnataka? If somebody tracks the record, it is absolutely zero, as said by the DK Shivakumar's godfather, SM Krishna, in the assembly in 2000 February. It's very, very clear. And now the DK Shivakumar, we are just waiting whether DK Shivakumar will follow his godfather, political godfather Siddaramaiah's, Sesram Krishna's footsteps or Siddaramaiah's footsteps, who says that I have done that, I have done this. Yes. See, in terms of implement 4 lakh to 25,000 crores is the loan of Karnataka in the past 36 months, and taxes and the services which has been increased on Kannadigas 80,000 crores. After this, any development activity has taken place? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even one single project has been taken up. So, when these are the problems in Karnataka, when DK Shivakumar is taking over, will the problems of Karnataka's will be solved? Or the MLAs, their own MLAs have been asking that there is no funds, there is a fund crisis, and then there is a problems related to potholes, problems related to water, problems related to solid waste management, and all this are happening on one side, whether it is Bengaluru or elsewhere also. Yet Karnataka,
Mr. Gowda, I have a question for you, sir. Mr. Gowda, I'm Karthike. I have a question for you, sir. Sir, I understand that accountability lies with the ruling party, but so BJP's house is also not in proper shape. Your leadership issues remain. Unlike Gujarat, unlike Madhya Pradesh, unlike Uttar Pradesh, like Yogi Adityanath, or unlike Bihar, Suvendu Adhikari, West Bengal, or Himanta Biswa Sarma, Assam, Karnataka is the weak link for BJP.
No, see, that is the perception what many people are carrying. But as a party Karyakarta, we are all very, very clear that as of today, our Adhyaksha is Vijayendra Yediyurappaji. And we are all with him and we are going to follow him. And that is what is very clear. And our LOPs are there, are Ashok and Chalwadi Narayan Swamiji, and all it's a collective leadership which is happening in Karnataka. And in fact, to be very honest and very straightforward, Karnataka's political history has been very strong. And even though there were stalwart leaders from Nijalingappa and Kengal Hanumantaya and Devaraja Arasu and all other people, the stalwart leaders do not stand anything, but a collective leadership stands with a lot of things. And that is what in Karnataka's political history has been, whether it is the Congress Party, BJP or Janata Parivar. And with all these things, we are very clear. Karnataka definitely has a very strong leadership. See, different states have different things. Karnataka, we can never vote for an actor. In fact, to be very honest, we were discussing, in Tamil Nadu, they have voted for a lot of actors. And in Karnataka, we have never voted for an actor. Only successful actor was Amrish, not because he was an actor, because he was from one community. And that is why he was successful. Not too. Why was he successful? In '93, he participated in the reservation protest, and that is why he was successful. Otherwise, Amrish also could not have been successful. Similarly, in the different states have different leadership systems and different ways to formulate. So, Karnataka's leadership is a collective leadership. Under Vijayendraji, BJP is a very strong leadership, and we are all together.
Okay, point taken. Roja, do you agree? Roja, do you agree with Mr. Gowda?
No, I don't agree with him, because there are many actors who have failed in Tamil Nadu also, and the charisma of Vijay is unique. Similarly, we had bigger actors in Karnataka who could not make it. So there is no replica of anything, but what he's saying, I completely disagree, because potholes is not because of Congress. Potholes was there even during BJP, and potholes in Bangalore, I think, is just going to be there even after Trump moves out of America. This is not a thing we can solve. So no BJP or Congress can help, and most of what he's saying, Chalwadi Narayan Swami, I haven't even heard of these people. I don't know who these people are. They do lack a leader, a powerful leader. At least Congress has 2 people in the fray. But in Karnataka, BJP is very, very, also because I think we are a very mixed race, and we have a lot of immigrant population. We are not non-secular, so we are quicker to point out mistakes, and we are not like Kerala is non-communal. I think we are non-communal, and if BJP is coming back, it is only because the Congress did not perform well. But we hope the Congress performs well, because by nature, we are all secular. I mean, we are all a mixed population, and you cannot thrust religion on us, and you cannot thrust, all these, I am an Indian, I am a Hindu, all that on us, because we have bigger issues in Bangalore, and we are more cosmopolitan, and the youth population is very, very high in Bangalore and Karnataka.
Okay, I'll come to Mr. Gowda. I think Professor Puranik wanted to say something. After Professor Puranik, I'll come to you.
Mr. Prakash Gowda is a loyal BJP spokesperson, and I have shared debates, many channels with him. No, it's okay. But Mr. Prakash Gowda, you don't underestimate Ashok Gowda, I'm sorry. You don't underestimate Congress in another 2 years, how they are going to challenge you. Because you are already down. You are not given good government, and you are lost by appointing 3 chief ministers and all that. At least Congress, it carried on with Siddaramaiah for 3 years. Now DK Shivakumar is giving. So give them an opportunity. Give them a chance also. Congress may perform well. Though I have a lot of reservations and all that about certain individuals, I think the best thing for DK Shivakumar is to see that the senior ministers go for party work like Kamaraj plan, and he nominates or appoints new youthful ministers who are capable of delivering goods and all that. Congress has given guarantees, but as Mr. Bommai mentioned, there is a big financial liability also and all that. So they don't know. I mean, we don't know whether BJP is going to give a better governance and all that. But your BJP, I think, is in bad shape. At least Congress is in a better shape as compared to your party. So better you think of your own party's damage control and all that. Now coming back to DK Shivakumar, I think we should give him a chance. When I was talking earlier, before I lost contact, I was not criticizing Congress. There is hope for people of Karnataka. They can deliver goods because there are many pending issues out there, and those issues DK Shivakumar, tries to answer or solve them. I think he will be a very successful chief minister also. But 2028, lock, stock, barrel, Congress will come to power. That is a big question. I think it's a challenge to DK Shivakumar. You have displaced Siddaramaiah. Now you have become CM. First show it in GBA. As Madam Rosa mentioned about Bangalore and the problems that Bangalore is facing because it's an international city. First, charity should begin at home. You do it. Then you think of North Karnataka and Central Karnataka, and also the Mekedatu issue. You are saying, I'm going to take up that Mekedatu. But with your alliance in Tamil Nadu, how you are going to take it? So don't underestimate the Congress potential. Congress has the potential. Congress has the ability to deliver. You are given chance, but you never got full majority. That also you should know. See, you always made Operation Kamala and this kind of thing. So till you get full majority on your own, I think you must be watchful about Congress also. That's my suggestion to
very important point, but very incisive. In fact, I'm going to steal this. I'm going to steal this point of yours, Professor. Iska istemal karunga. Yes, Mr. Gowda, you wanted to comment.
Yeah. See, a point is very simple. Chambu Puranik ji was saying about the vote share and the other things in a very different manner. I will tell you. See, we are not underestimating Congress at all. We understand from the 1952 till today, whether it was a local assembly election or a parliamentary election or even as a PTP election, Congress has definitely got 34% vote share. And even with the Janata Parivar being there, Janata Parivar also was with the 34% vote share. And now Janata Parivar has split and where there is a JDS and then there is a BJP. BJP has got 34% vote share. We understand that. 13% is the vote share of the JDS as of the last elections. Otherwise, they had got more than 18%. And with this formula only, we are going to work. It's about in the swing votes or whatever the votes are, around 4 to 6%. And definitely we are very confident to cross more than 4%. And yes, agreed that we had not got majority in 2008 and as well as in 2018. In both the cases, Wakkaliga votes were not with the BJP. Now this time, full-fledged Wakkaliga votes are with the JDS and BJP combined together. So Wakkaliga, Lingayat combination, OBC combination, Dalit combination is going to work in our favor. And I will come to the Rosa point. Rosa, please, we are never against any community, religion or anybody. We are only saying that whenever anybody says that we are in Indians, and let them be Indians. And if they say that we are pro a religion and just because that is why we love Arab or something else, please make your choices. That is what is our point. We are by Hindu being a Hindu or an Indian. being a one word, and we are secular by nature, we are not communal by nature, and that is what BJP believes in. And let us come to the pothole issues. And pothole issues, believe me or not, in 2022, all the 22,000 potholes were filled, and with the special funds and special grants were being given. And now, come to the DK Shivakumar being the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister, and he was also in charge of Bangalore Development Authority. Bangalore Development. And when he was a Bangalore Development Minister, he said, all the potholes, 36,000 potholes, I'm going to fill it within September last year, 2025. As he filled it, believe me or not, on record I can say this, 5,600 potholes were filled and rest of the things were not bothered, including the pothole right in front of his house. And now I have made I have made a video right in front of Vidhan Soda. There was a drainage and which had a problem. Only recently, 15 days, 1 month back, they have covered up and they have made they have temporarily solved the problem. Meaning to say, the commitment is required. It is not about governance is a dynamic issue. It's a continuous problem and everything will be there. But do I have a commitment towards that or not? That is what people are watching out. And it's not that all the state governments under BJP or with the heaven. That's not the case. We understand that. We understand that it's a dynamic process. Commitment was given and we have to deliver on the commitment. And sometimes that commitment can be 100% delivered, sometimes 90%. But Siddaramaiah says, as we have said, we have delivered. Now let me ask the question to Siddaramaiah when he is quitting this chair, that this promise of sixth guarantee, that is Asha Karyakartas and Anganwadi Karyakartas salary increase as he increased. And this is the one question you should ask every time, because whenever BJP was in power and they questioned it and they said that you are not able to deliver, and okay, fine, whatever happened in 2023. But did he deliver? Did he solve the problem for my sisters who are Asha Karyakartas? And in fact, I can go on and other things. Asha Karyakartas system. In fact, I was discussing with one research scholar from the US 2 weeks back. And we were discussing saying that the system of Ayurvedic doctors was so well established. Why did not Nehru think about it? And in 1973, we made a policy, and till today, we are not able to implement the policy in this kind of in the way our forefathers.
Ashok, we in fact get that. We in fact get that part of it. We are also now in fact joined in by CAV Subramanian, a political analyst from Karnataka, who in fact joins us. Subramanian, how do you see this change of guard in Karnataka? And also now, what are we going to see the cabinet change also, how it is going to look like when it comes to this? One thing is for clear, when we see through this, that they have been able to manage this factionalism for some time, but the CM seat has been managed. When the change is going to come into the cabinet as well as for the KPCC position, do you think the same factionalism is going to play out?
Definitely this conflict, as I think after 3 years it has come to an end. But we know that from the day one, when they won in the Karnataka, so the tussle between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah was in public, and often they have been visiting Delhi to sort out the issues between themselves. And you see that 3 statements what Siddaramaiah ji has given: I am resigning voluntarily. My duty is listen to Congress leaders. I am not in any pain. I think layman in this country, layman in Karnataka, they will understand that this is not from his heart. Okay. So there is a big push from the top leader in Congress, okay, especially from Rahul Gandhi, because see, there is an alignment between the senior leaders, okay, in terms of age also. Siddaramaiah, Sonia Gandhi, Mallikarjun, Kharge, they are in some alignment, and DK Shivakumar is in alignment with Rahul Gandhi. Okay, the next level leadership. Okay, I think this is the promise would have been given by Rahul Gandhi when we know Telangana. He was DK Shivakumar actively participated in Telangana election and made that possible in Congress to come back into power in Telangana. Okay, so though he has done it in Karnataka, but because Siddaramaiah is very powerful than DK is, and he has got Siddaramaiah has got the caste votes. I think his caste leaders are strongly behind him, which DK Shivakumar was not able to overcome. DK Shivakumar has got an organizational leader in the Congress. So he knows the Congress Karyakarta up to the Delhi. So he was able to mobilize power. So he was able to convince Rahul Gandhi so that he can gain power in Karnataka. Maybe another 10-15 years. He is the because he is the Congress president now. He's having a significant presence in the southern part of India. Okay, you know, slowly Congress is gaining momentum in Dakshin Bharat, I would say. Okay, somehow they got the ministerial berth in Tamil Nadu through Joseph Vijay, and Karnataka they are there, Telangana they are there, Kerala they have come. Okay, that means some amount of DK Shivakumar is contributing towards Dakshin Bharat Congress. Okay, right. I think for that recognition, Rahul Gandhi, because Rahul Gandhi now, see, there is no scope for him in North. There is no big scope for him in Parliament. At least in Dakshin Bharat, in these 5 states, they are able to mobilize some majority so that he can have a better bargaining power with the other India Alliance. I'm not sure whether India Alliance exists now or not, but 2029 May, okay, if Congress want to gain some significant seats in the Parliament, so you need to have a second level leadership in the southern part of India to his side. So that is the strategy of Rahul Gandhi. I think that is what whoever is favoring Rahul Gandhi, whoever is supporting Rahul Gandhi, he wants to recognize them. So this is a clear political strategy driven by Rahul Gandhi. That is what you are able to see. But unfortunately, what's happening is there is no big governance happening in Karnataka. Okay. Before me, the gentleman was speaking about pothole. I would say that 5 guarantees what they gave in the Karnataka election as part of the manifesto. Openly, DK Shivakumar in the public, immediately after taking the oath in power, he came and said, I don't have money. We cannot implement 5 guarantees. If we are going to implement 5 guarantees, we don't have money to invest in infrastructure projects. I don't know how dare no one Deputy Chief Minister, Finance Minister can come and openly tell that we don't have money, we cannot invest in infrastructure projects, but we'll have to give some guaranteed money to the people. That is not acceptable. So that means they want to take vote bank politics directly and not focusing on the infrastructure or investment or the future of the Karnataka. So this has come very, very true in the coming decision. I think people have to wait and watch now.
Right, right. Thank you, gentlemen. That's all the time that we have for this discussion. But Siddaramaiah going ahead and speaking in that breakfast meet that he's going to put down his papers and he will be meeting, probably doing that at around 3 p.m. as such. So all eyes on that. And therefore now the deck has been cleared for DK Shivakumar to become the Chief Minister of Karnataka. With that, we slip into a short break. News and updates will continue on the other side.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
A crisis that has shaken the foundation of our education system and left over 22 lakh students in a state of absolute despair.
The NEET UG 2026 paper